Howdy Christmas crafters, my name is Judson, this is the Boozy Cinnamon Roll, and we are back for a little bit more day drinking and crafting. We are doing 25 days of holiday crafts. Today's drink is another one of those Buzzball Peach Chillers. Again, not the most Christmassy, but it's good. Today's craft has no paint, which is good. No glitter, also good. It does have hot glue though. But the no paint is good because I got paint on this shirt. This is a new shirt. This is like the third time I've worn it. Paint on it. I told Kathleen and she said I may have to start doing like topless crafting, which if you know, when my boys were very young, we used to have topless pasta night, which basically meant anytime we were going to have spaghetti. I mean, I'm talking young, like I think Paul was maybe in kinder and Matthew was like 2.5. Anytime we had spaghetti, rather than make a huge mess of their laundry, we would peel their shirts off and I would take off my work shirt, my logo shirt that I wore for work, and just eat our dinner, you know, in the warm weather, obviously, without our shirts on, to avoid staining like my work clothes and the boys' clothes. But so it was kind of a thing, topless pasta. And then Paul, little Paul, 5-year-old Paul, was like wanting to invite family friends over for topless pasta, and innocently, but it's just sort of a joke. But yeah, so topless crafting. But I think that would be a different kind of channel and not one that I'm interested in going down. So besides, nobody wants to see that. All right, so today's craft, I am appropriating this from someone. I saw a crafter do it. It's someone that I follow, but for the life of me, I can't remember who. And I have typed in, searched all the possible combinations of craft titles for what it is, and I get nothing. It does not pop back up. But if any of you who are watching know whose craft it is, by all means, let me know, because I'm not trying to take credit for something that I did not originate. I just honestly cannot remember the person who did it. But basically what we're gonna make are these little tiny elf heads, little elves with, ears and pom-poms. I think they're really cute. The person that did them originally, I think she did like maybe skin tone Christmas balls and matching ears, and I certainly thought I could do that, mix some brown with white chalk paint and paint over these, and then do the same on the foam for the ears. But it's an elf. An elf is an imaginary creature, so maybe these elves are pink and gold, and maybe their ears are green and pink. You don't know. It could happen. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Just a little bit of nonsense. Okay, so what you need is Christmas balls. I'm choosing the small ones because I think that I already am way too many ornaments for the tree. Also, I might put these on one of the smaller trees, but whatever size you want. I've got the little ones. You need some foam. I got these foam sheets at Michael's. I have green, white, blue, and pink, but certainly you could go with any colors that you want. And then scissors and hot glue. And then, and then I've got pom-poms for the hats, but in theory you don't have to have pom-poms. I just thought they were kind of cute. So the first step is to make the ears. And basically I've got some scrap pieces of felt over here. I just fold it in half so that I'm gonna get two that are exactly the same, and then cut out roughly teardrop shape. And then kind of trim it up because that is not really a teardrop shape. But I fold it over so I get 2 of them that are exactly the same, and so then I don't have to worry about them not being the same when it's time for their time to do them. Putting the glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so it's not perfect by any means, but it's approximate. I mean, and they're 2 that are exactly the same. So you've got your ears. Whoops, didn't do a great job of cutting that, so just snip it there in the middle, and then trim that little piece off. All right, set them aside. That's the first step, and then grab the little head, the little Christmas ball. And then we are going to, if the ears are pink and the body's pink, let's do a blue hat. And I happen to know from the 2 that I've already done that on these foam sheets, the short way is enough to go around the ball. So what I'm gonna do is just cut a triangle, freehand triangle, from the bottom up. Now you don't have to do this big. I just have been, and it's kind of worked for me. So it gives the hats a little bit more height. You could certainly do a shorter one. The other thing is when you get ready to attach this, attach the hat to the ball, you want to have as much of the ball not under the hat as you can. The first one that I did, I thought, your eyes are halfway, on your head, so we'll just do a little bit above. But when it was all said and done, like, you couldn't see, like, it was like this. Like, you couldn't tell what it was. It looked like a hat sitting on something. So you didn't get the whole idea that there was like an elf under there. So when you get to that step, leave as much of the ball outside as you can. Now I'm just going to put a line of hot glue down one side and then kind of flip it over to make a cone. I said no glitter, but there's glitter on the tablecloth from other crafts. And when I got ready to start the video, I couldn't find a glass in the kitchen. And I thought, this is it. This is my NCIS moment. I don't know if any of you watch NCIS. It's a TV show about one of those procedural crime shows, but Navy criminal investigation. And the main character for many years, Jethro Gibbs, he has a workshop in his basement. And so a lot of the scenes will be him working in the basement in the workshop. Someone comes in to talk to him. He offers them a drink. So he will take a bottle of bourbon from underneath his shelf and then grab a glass jar of screws, dump the screws out, wipe the inside of the jar out, and pour the bourbon in there. And I thought, that's it. This is the day I'm going to dump out the glitter or whatever in this cup and drink my buzz ball in there. This is the day I dump out the faux snow and drink my Kahlua Bailey's and peppermint schnapps out of this. I'm not there yet, so don't anybody panic. But yeah, I have been doing good with the festive cups, though. I mean, last year after our party, well, 2 things. Number 1, we did gift Matthew with several holiday-themed cups, glasses, but also after the party was over, because we had the party in his home. It was his new home. He kept more than his fair share of party glasses because he likes them. But yeah, so I'm finding more and more over here. All right, so now we've got this, and you can see not a whole lot of the ball is sticking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim up a little bit. And try that again. That's better. See, you've got more of the head, more of the face of the elf showing. And then, and you're gonna put the little thingy, the topper, inside of the hat. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of hot glue in the back and a tiny little bit in the front. And then just stick the ball on, like so. And then the next step is to take your white foam, this is for the trim on the hat, and then just cut a strip from the side like so. Now you pick up your earpieces from before. And what I do, I put you figure that this seam is going to be on the back, or you could do it on the side if you're going to flip it over where you're not going to see it, but out of sight basically. And then figure where you're going to put the trim. And then ascertain where the side is going to be for the ears. So put one ear basically right here. And then what I do is I glue them to the inside of the trim. With the point going down. Like so. And then I figure out where I want the other one to go, which is approximately on the other side, and do the same thing. Okay, so you've got this, which to me kind of looks like vampire fangs. Then you're going to carefully see where you want it to go. And then usually what I do here, put a little bit, a tiny thread of hot glue across the front there, between the ears. And then carefully stretch that. You just want to pull it, not tight, but give it a little bit of tension because it'll stretch and then, kind of fit nicely. And then just glue it in the back. And trim off the extra. Like so. Now, you're looking at that going, those ears look weird. You're right, they do, because we're not finished. What you're gonna do next is take the tip of the ear and flip it up. You can flip it up to the back, flip it up, just however you think looks best. I like them flipped back with a little bit of an angle. So just put a tiny little bit of hot glue on the back of the ear and then flip it up, hold it in place till the glue sets. I've got like hot glue strings everywhere. And then you've got your cute little elf here on the side there. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other. All right, now you could leave it like that, kind of go for the standy-uppy gnome hat vibe, if that's your choice. I am not going to do that. I'm going to flip it over. Now, the top is a little wonky. You see that it's kind of, it didn't, you know, exactly meet. So I'm just going to cut it off because you're not really going to see that. And then just decide how I want to fold it over. Like you could fold it over, you know, like that and have it really hang down. You could fold it to the back. I played with folding it, you know, kind of forward. That kind of go with what appeals to you, what sparks your, you know, what says Christmas to your heart. Okay. And then the good thing with the foam is that you have some freedom. You can like really scrunch it up if that's, you know, what you're wanting to do. It's very forgiving and very easy to work with is what I'm trying to say. So I will say that on this part, you do have to hold it for a little bit to kind of get the glue to set up so that it doesn't just pop right off. And if you do get glue where you can see it and don't want it, it does kind of pull off rather easily. All right, here we go. So now we now the words. I'm new today. We just need a pom-pom. So I've got a variety. I've got white. I've got a couple of pink glittery ones. I've got just a regular pink one. I've got green. Okay, the green one. Ooh. Well, I wasn't going to use the green one anyway. It was too big. And now it's rolled onto the floor. Do have a little green one. I don't want to do, well, I could do white because I've got the, yeah, let's do white. We'll do white and I'll do a big one. So you just take a little bit of glue, a little bit more hot glue. Put it on the foam, the end of the foam hat there, and then just attach the pom-pom. You can get pom-poms anywhere, Amazon, Michael's. I feel confident that ours came from Michael's, that these came from Michael's, but not any time recently, so I couldn't tell you how much I spent on them. So there we go. Little blue-hatted elf, Christmassy vibe. Goes with the green one and the pink one. Now, what I'm going to do to hang them is I'm going to take some thin, like fishing line. Well, a couple of things. You could just thread it through, like in here. Find one that I've. Yeah, on this one there's a little bit better hole, but you can kind of see, like thread it through there so that you're not piercing the foam, but just so that you've got clear string to hang it. Or you could just take like an embroidery needle and go through that way. So that's some variation of that is what I'm going to do. The other thing is that the original creator on this, she made like adorable little faces on these. I'm not exactly sure. Like my face making skill is not there, so I'm gonna leave them faceless. But it did occur to me I could put googly eyes on them, but that may be a little too much. But so easy, fun craft with no paint, good for my shirt, no glitter, and just, you know, a little bit of hot glue. So tell me what you think. If you're new here, do all the things, the regular YouTube things, like the channel, follow the channel, share with your friends, leave me a comment. Do you watch NCIS? Do you have a bottle of bourbon stashed under your craft table and drink out of glitter cups? I don't know. I appreciate your time. I hope that you're having a good holiday. I appreciate everyone that is faithfully watching these 25 days. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.